Good morning, everyone. Oh, come on. Good morning, everyone. Okay, there we go. You're going to need a lot of energy for the week, so let's go with it. So, I'm sitting here listening to the Chancellor and thrilled that he's here, but I think he actually just told us a story of why we're here. Here's a man that's getting pictures on his iPhone because he's doing better care for his patients. It's a workaround, but it's a workaround you shouldn't have to do, right? Because he doesn't have the opportunity to work across disciplines to have a solution that would allow him to have pictures on his iPhone that were HIPAA compliant, that were secure, that were easily accessible in the way he needs it to provide the care he wants to provide. So I think that's a prime example of really smart people developing workarounds. And why we're here is to get past workarounds. We're going to work around the workarounds. Because I think the workarounds are always immediate solutions. And, I'll tell you, I started in 2000, the first training we had was 2011. And we started it after a conference. It was Wireless Health, which I now co-chair, so it tells you how far it's come. But I'm standing there with a researcher / entrepreneur who's showing me this cardiac monitoring system. It's gorgeous. Let me tell you, interface is beautiful. Everything he's telling me looks good. And we get to the end and I say, so what happens when there's an event? So this is for people with congestive heart failure. What happens when there is an event? So what's he say? He says, I emailed the nurse. I say, excuse me? I didn't think I heard you. I emailed the nurse. At this point, he's looking nervous, right? And I said, email, nurse? And he goes, nurses don't have emails? I go, well, of course nurses have emails, but that email and cardiac should never end up in the same sentence, right? So this is when I just kind of sat back and thought, I looked at what we were building on the health side, and it was pathetic. But I looked at what computer science and engineering was coming up, and it was completely divorced from reality. So that's the point where we brought these together and we said, how do we work on this? How do we work on this together? And what we heard, and now I'll tell you, I am the program officer and the lead for the Smart and Connected Health program at NSF. It's a whole entire program to do what you're doing. But the thing is, what we found out is it's really, really hard. I will tell you that Santosh and I have had bloody battles over terminology, ground truth versus gold standard. We were writing a paper one time. It was going back and forth. What's a gold standard? What's a ground truth? There is no truth in health. There's only gold standards, right? Death is the only real truth we have. So, we're going back and forth like this. But these things are hard. And that's what people that are working really hard to work with you. So we started these trainings in 2011. Originally, NIH funded them. This is the fifth one. I am really thrilled because NIH's funding for training has gone down and down and down. Most of the trainings have not been evidence-based. They've not actually been based on good learning models. But the funding's gone down for them. And whether they did good or not, we don't know. I'll tell you right now, there's in the midst of an evaluation at NIH of past training institutes, but they're post hoc. It's after the fact. So here in the R25s, and especially this one I'm very proud of. This is our high scoring R25, so I'm really, really proud of it because it makes it really easy in my life. Here we have really a blend of all of these things coming together as well as really, really solid evaluation. So do your evaluations. I know Mark Hansen's going to talk to you, but do them. So that's important because, we're not going to continue to get funding for trainings if we can't show they make a difference. So you know that you're scientists. You don't want any science money going for stuff that doesn't work, right? I mean, that's what we fight for every day of our lives, isn't it? So pay attention when they ask you to do evaluations. Do them because we're really trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. So I do want to do one thing. This thing, I want to first off, at the end here, acknowledge Vivek Shetty. None of this happens without Vivek. I sit around and do all the fun stuff. He does all the yucky stuff. So, and he wrote an awesome grant. So I really want to give a hand to Vivek. You're going to find out that he is not only a brilliant scholar, but he knows everything. And as my son calls him, he looks like a Greek god. So It's pretty good from coming from, at that point, a 17-year-old who was completely in awe of Vivek, who could talk about literature from any period. And my son's a musician, so they talked music, and my son's like, he knew what I was talking about. So you can talk to Vivek about anything. But you also have other amazing faculty here. So I want to introduce Santosh Kumar. Stand up. And Donna Spratmatz. So they form the core for this, and they do a lot of heavy lifting to make this happen. But we also have amazing other faculty here. And you're going to find out, you're sitting in the room. I remember when I was doing research, getting people like who you have in the room today. I used to sit at conferences and you'd wait outside after their talk and hope, like a groupie. Maybe I can talk to them. Maybe I can talk to them. You got an entire week with them. So I want to introduce Lisa Marsh. Yay. I'm doing these in no particular order. So Susan Murphy. Stephen Steinhobel. James Ray. Bonnie Zima. David Elishoff, is he here? Is David here yet? He's dropping his kids off. Mani Srivastasa? Mani, I hope I didn't kill your name. And who have I missed? Have I missed anybody? So these are the core faculty. These are your mentors. You're gonna have, and you have colleagues here from AHRQ, from NIH. You're gonna meet everybody. Everybody's gonna talk during the week, so you're gonna get to know everybody, where they're from and what they do. But you're also gonna get to know each other. You've got lightning talks. I think we told you this yesterday, but I think you're going to hear this again and again. You're the best and the brightest, and we've got our hopes pinned on you. I want to grow up in a future where what you do becomes practice, but you have to do it together. And when you do it together, it's going to change the world. So with that, I'll let Vivek start it off.